everybody and welcome to Strengthjournal episode 24. Today we are training legs and arms, and after that we're gonna make some post-workout dinner. So let's go to the gym, I would say. Alright, so let's talk about the workout. As always, I start with a warm-up, so I did 5 minutes of incline walking just to get my heart rate up, and then I went into some mobility preparation exercises just to open up my hips before the first exercise. And the first exercise of the day was the barbell back squat with heel elevation for 3 sets. I started with doing just a couple of warm-up sets where I started light and then just ramped my weight up till I reached my working weight. I am using a heel elevation because 1, that way I can squat deeper, which means that I can get a bigger stretch on my quads, which is beneficial for hypertrophy. 2, I can stay more upright during this squat, which means that my posterior chain gets less involved. And 3, I'm simply not built for squatting because I have relatively long legs in comparison to my upper body, which means that if I want to squat deep, I have to bend forward a lot more, and this just involves my posterior chain a lot more, involves my lower back a lot more, and just feels more awkward overall. So I did try squatting with no heels before, and that just felt like garbage, to be honest. So that's why I decided to stick with the heel elevation. Yeah. So squats on the day felt pretty good. I am definitely getting stronger here, and I would also say I'm getting more confident with just having a heavy barbell on my back, because that was something, or is still something, that is kind of a bit uncomfortable for me. So I have to work on that. So out of the big 3, I really enjoyed the deadlift. For me right now I'm doing the Romanian deadlift. So that one is definitely gonna stay in my routine. But with the barbell bench press and the barbell back squat, I am not sure if I will keep them in my routine for the next training block. Because I think there are variations that just suit me better and that I just enjoy more overall. And in the end, the important thing about strength training is that you get stronger at like the basic movement patterns. So horizontal push and pull, vertical push and pull, squat hinge, leg curl, leg extension, but you don't have to stick to only one variation. So there are a lot of variations out there, and you can just pick and choose which ones you like, and then just get stronger at them. With the back squat, I also didn't push to failure, so I left a couple of reps in reserve. And I'm doing that because I want to focus a bit more on my technique and keep the quality of the repetitions high throughout the sets. And I also want to limit my fatigue overall. And the third reason is that I'm simply a bit scared of pushing like close to failure or really close to failure on the back squat, because I find that with exercises like this, but also other exercises like the bar bench press, for example, if you fail these lifts, there's always, I would say, like a higher risk of hurting yourself, even if you have like some form of safety measure. And that's why I typically would recommend to just like stay away from failure with these exercises. Still push hard, so you can definitely go to like RP 7, 8 or even 9, but I would say RP 10 or like failure is just not worth it with these exercises, both from like a safety perspective but also from just a fatigue perspective. You will still get a great stimulus out of these exercises without going to failure. Then I continued on with a brutal superset of sissy squats, or deficit sissy squats in that case, and 45-degree back extensions. If you want to destroy your quads, glutes, hamstrings and lower back with minimal equipment and minimal load, I would highly recommend to give these 2 exercises a shot. So the Sissy squat is the perfect complementary exercise for the regular squat because it trains our quads in a slightly different way and also allows us to get a huge stretch on our quads. So our quads have 4 heads, and while 3 of them only cross the knee joint, one of them, the rectus femoris, also crosses the hip joint. In a regular squat exercise, our hips flex, and this means that the rectus femoris gets shortened at the one end while it gets lengthened at the other end. And this means that it can't work properly during a regular squat. That's why we need an exercise like a Sissy squat, reverse Nordic curl or leg extension where our hips stay put and the only thing that happens is that our knees extend. And just in general, the Sissy squat is just a brutal exercise because of the stretch of the quads, because you're getting full knee flexion here, a lot more than in a regular squat, and yeah, you will definitely feel the burn after you do this exercise. I'm standing on a platform here, and this just allows me to get deeper and get an even bigger stretch on my quads. I also like to hold on to something when I'm doing Sissy squats, just for extra stability, and yeah. But if you're holding onto something, don't use it for assistance. Just imagine your arms are just like hooks, and yeah, you're just using the object for stabilization, but not assistance. When I'm doing the Sissy squat, I'm focusing on keeping my hips extended, so engaging my core and my glutes. And I also like to look at the ceiling when I'm doing the exercise instead of straight forward, because that kind of helps me to, I guess, position my body in the right way. But I don't know if that helps other people, but for me that seems to work quite well. So maybe give it a shot the next time you're doing this exercise. I really like the 45-degree back extension because it allows us to train our posterior chain through hip hinge without having to use a heavy load, like for example in an RDL. When I'm doing the exercise, I'm focusing on proper hinging mechanics, so I'm focusing on pushing my hips back and keeping my back flat basically. You can definitely also use the pad for, I guess, tactile feedback. So you can really push your hips into the pad for the back extension and also use the foot anchor to push against. And that might help with the engagement of like your hamstrings and glutes. After I finished the superset, walking was definitely a challenge, but it was also a lot of fun, I would say. So I really enjoyed these 2 exercises. So currently I really like to push my isolation exercises to failure or even beyond failure. And that just seems to work quite well for me. And I just enjoy training that way. I also find that with isolation exercise, you can definitely do that because you will get more stimulus out of the sets, but the fatigue still is not that high in comparison to, for example, like compound exercises. So if you push every set of your compound exercises to failure, you might get like more stimulus, but also a lot more fatigue. But with isolation exercise, I find you can definitely push them a lot harder, and that's what I like to do. For that session, I basically just did 4 sets of 20 repetitions for each of the isolation exercises, so for my shoulders and arms. And I used intensity techniques like drop sets or myo reps to get to 20 repetitions. So for example, for the tricep pushdowns, I chose a weight which I can't do for 20, and then I did drop sets till I reached 20 repetitions. Using techniques like drop sets or myo reps is just a great way to get in a lot of effective stimulus for hypertrophy in a short amount of time, and just to really push yourself hard and push your muscles to failure / beyond failure. And overall, I had a lot of fun doing the exercises like that, and I would definitely recommend to give it a shot. I finished the session with a core exercise, so I did some dragon flags for 3 sets. And yeah, I would say the dragon flag is like the gold standard when it comes to core exercises or core strength. So if you can do full dragon flags where your body is in a straight line, you're going up and down, you have a really strong core. And I also love the exercise because it just looks really cool. And yeah, I just really like doing it. So that was basically the whole session. It was a lot of fun. That was like one of the sessions where you leave the gym and you just feel like you're unstoppable and unbeatable. So definitely a very nice session, a lot of fun, and also had like a pretty good pump after that. So now let's continue with dinner. Alright, dinner is served. So we got an omelette with onions, some salmon, some cucumber, and some sweet chili sauce. Basic, delicious meal. I'm definitely hungry right now after that intense workout. And yeah. So I'm gonna have that for dinner, and after this meal, I'm gonna have some fruits. So a fruit plate by my mom. So love your mom for making it every day. And I'm also gonna have some ice cream. I'm definitely looking forward to that one. So that was it for today. Great workout, delicious food right now. What more can you ask for? If you enjoyed today's Strength Journal, I would highly appreciate if you press the like button and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for tuning in. Feel free to share your thoughts and feedback down below in the comment section. I will see you next time. Much love, and see you on level 100. Peace.